Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. There's Dave Cackley. You've got a rather concerned look on your face this morning. I mean, before we come on, you're looking at me like, are you okay? Are you,
Well,
and,
okay.
and
Well, here's the.
well, let
Go
me
ahead.
ask you, there's no reason for concern, is there? I mean,
No,
is there,
I'm fine.
you're fine. Okay. I'm
Mhm.
fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, no, because I
I
was
got a
a little
booger hanging or
confused.
something?
No, not at all.
Nothing like that. Okay. What are
Because
you
you
worried
got on
about?
me. Well, no, I'm not worried about anything. You're jumping on me already. I'm
Well,
not worried about anything.
it's
I
that
was just a
look
little
on your face.
confused.
Just before we
I was
came
just a
on, you were
little.
like this.
No,
Just,
I always just kind of. Well, I kind of zone. Okay, the older I get, I tend
yeah.
to zone out.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Right.
But now you were mentioning off the air. I kind of misread you yesterday when you wanted me to just say something stupid about roommates, and I went on into this dissertation trying to coach the young people up on how to
Right.
behave,
Yeah.
how to confront maybe a roommate that you're having an issue with, and you
Right.
just wanted me to shit on roommates or something. I
Well,
don't know what the hell it
that
was.
would have been fun. I mean,
Yeah, but how is it not fun to learn? Learning is also fun, Andy.
yeah. Yeah.
He's like, and I also had, I said, look, I had little idiosyncrasies that, uh,
The one
roommates of
I've
mine
seen,
didn't really understand
the
or
one I've seen that looks amusing lately of Facebook. Have you seen the harmonica zip tied underneath a car?
no.
Oh, that's got to be
What's the deal with
funny.
that?
Well, you
What
just
is that?
you find like an axle or something underneath the car, a flat surface, and you just
Mhm.
zip tie a harmonica around it. So when people are
Okay.
driving down the road, it makes noise, and they're like, "What the hell's that noise?" I think that's
That is,
funny.
I think whoever came up with that is 100% a genius,
Yep.
albeit obviously a misguided genius, because that is really super clever.
Oh yeah.
And it's utterly brilliant as a practical joke,
Right.
but you probably could have used that brain power in another avenue.
You probably could
Probably,
have, but I mean, sometimes you just got to be funny, and I mean,
yeah,
other times you
agreed.
just got to be. Other times you just have to give it back. Like,
Hmm.
let's associate this back to yesterday's roommate story.
Hmm.
Let's say if you found a hair on your soap from said roommate, you could A, pummel them, or you could B, tie a harmonica up underneath their car and let them drive around sounding like Clarabelle the Clown for a while. There's all kinds of options for fun here. Let's just, and to
You're a
me,
very, I realized
yeah,
you're an ultra. You try and pass yourself as this lunch pail, just average Joe. Someone gave me a microphone instead of a shovel.
yeah.
Bullshit. You are the most high maintenance male I have ever known.
Where you coming from with that?
Literally everything bothers you. Hair on a soap. I am going to tie a harmonica to an
A
axle
hair.
on
Look,
somebody's car.
listen.
You freak out. Little
A
things
hair on a
really
soap.
bother you.
A hair on a soap is almost as offensive as crumbs on butter. Um, these are just things in a roommate world you can't tolerate. What if a roommate used your towel?
Who cares?
Who cares? They
Who
dried their crack
cares?
with it.
Okay, is the towel dry or wet?
If you find it dry or
Eh,
wet.
No, I use it. I've
Oh,
used, dude,
oh
we are you kidding me?
no!
We grew up in the 80s. I
I have
remember
grandchildren, and
showering
if
with the
they
same
use my towel, I freak out. It's like, how can you do that?
dude.
Seriously.
I've used other people's towels before. Okay.
Oh God, you wear other people's
Again,
underwear?
no, I don't. But look, you see, yeah, you're a high maintenance germaphobe. That's what it is. That's why you get sick all the time, and I never do.
But I'm not. I'm
I'm
not.
exposed to everything.
No.
Yeah. I can't
So,
use somebody
okay.
else's
Wait a minute.
house.
Wait a minute.
Hair
Wait
on
a
a
minute.
soap. Go
Wait
ahead.
a minute. You're playing off the idea that you like to wander around locker rooms naked as being an
Okay, there you go.
and
Now,
you're
it
trying to
all
call
comes
me a
back.
germaphobe because I don't do that.
Captain Pride throws a little dig at me every single chance he gets, trying to paint me as something I'm not.
No, I'm not.
Just
I'm just
put it out
saying.
there.
I'm
Yep,
just saying.
that's what you do. It's what you do.
No, it's not. Hey, look at
Yeah,
that.
it is.
Speaking
It's
of,
all right.
let's see that. Get my,
Oh, look at you! Hey,
I know.
that was perfect. Perfect segue.
How you like that?
Look at
You know who
that.
that
Look
is,
at
don't
that.
you?
That is, I don't know.
It's Bing Bong and Joy from Inside Out.
Bong Joy. Okay, yeah.
Great movie. You should watch it.
I have no idea what it is. I
Well,
thought that was an old thing.
Well, it's I don't know. Inside Out,
No-
maybe 5 years old now.
Oh, well, Max wasn't watching that stuff
Yeah,
by the time he was 8, so I wasn't watching it. So, there you
but
go.
seriously, that and the honest to God's truth, hair on a soap is unforgivable.
Really,
Unforgivable.
see, yeah, again, you're a chick. Sometimes it comes out. I have my lady tendencies too. So I'm not here living in a glass house throwing stones. I'm very well aware of my own. I enjoy the bubble baths. I enjoy my Bold and the Beautiful at 1:30 in the afternoon. I appreciate the Golden Girls, the wondrous sitcom that was and still is.
Yeah.
And by the way, today's news very sitcom pop culture centric for obvious reasons. So let's get into it. Television icon Norman Lear has passed away, the man behind some of the most successful sitcoms of the 1970s, including All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Good Times, Sanford and Son, One Day at a Time. Passed away peacefully of natural causes late Tuesday night. Lear created or developed over 100 programs, won 6 Primetime Emmy Awards, is a member of the Television Academy Hall of Fame. Lear was 101 years old. And this is what's amazing is all of those sitcoms that I've mentioned have stood the test of time. If you were to, because, there's a lot of shit that's dated.
Terrible.
Even from the 80s.
Yep.
The 80s probably especially because it was a little more formulaic. The brilliance of Norman Lear was he was able to kind of subtly put in messaging without beating you over the head with it. The only sitcom that I've ever seen that has done that successfully from a modern standpoint was Modern Family, which was utterly brilliant. Had your little messaging in there, but again, it was subtle and it was mostly about the comedy. Like you couldn't have an Archie Bunker character today because he would have to be a hateful bigot. And Archie Bunker, what made that show work, and I've said this before about All in the Family, is Archie Bunker's bigotry was based on ignorance, and he was kind of the butt of the joke, but he was also, he cared about his family, and there was goodness in Archie. He was just,
a curmudgeon.
He was that guy, and we all knew that guy.
Right.
During that time, there was always that guy. And same goes like
the
guy,
Jeffersons. That guy during that time was my grandfather. He would not. He wouldn't let All in the Family on in the house because it reminded him too much of himself. Yeah. But you were 100% correct in the fact that Norman Lear could not get those shows made today unless he was on a Netflix or an Amazon or something like that.
And even maybe not.
Even there, he would struggle because. And you know what? I'm going to go back to the same thing I always go back to. What worked then doesn't need to play out today. Eddie Murphy, back when we were kids, the funniest freaking thing we'd ever heard.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, dude, you've got...
Still funny. It's still
hysterical.
Funny.
Hysterical, right? But the time has passed for the jokes like he used to make about sexuality and it really has. And I mean Eddie Murphy's done a great job evolving with time. He's found himself into characters that he can play, and he's found ways to work around that ultimately blew stuff. Because think back, Kinnison, Dice, Eddie Murphy, all these other guys, they were hysterical for the time.
Not even for the time.
You can look back at them now and still kind of laugh.
Yeah, not kind of.
But if it was brand new and just came right out in your face, everybody'd be in an uproar.
No. Certain groups, certain people would be in an uproar because they don't understand. It's the same shit. Because Dave Chappelle is essentially
Right.
doing the same shit Eddie Murphy did, and people are up in arms about it. Why does Chappelle get away with it? Because he's hysterical, but he's also misunderstood. The people who get up in arms don't understand that part of inclusivity is being poked fun at.
I get that.
That's part of it. No, I don't think, because you're kind of doing this thing where they have a reason to be upset. No, not if you view this group on the same level as you. If you view these groups on your same level, you can joke with them, you can mock them, you can do this, that, and the other. Okay. If you view them as less than, you feel they need to be protected and placed in a bubble.
Well,
and we got to treat them with kid gloves because
or
they're
maybe
not
you look at it
us.
like that offends that entire group. Let's just drive around.
Doesn't
that.
it? No.
Okay.
No, because we've done this thing where if it offends one person, shut up. If it offends one,
well,
really,
I think comedy evolves over time. And
I
even
agree
watching the Schimmel thing the other night, I love the guy.
Did you laugh at it?
There were bits and pieces I laughed at, and there were bits and pieces that I was remarkably uncomfortable with, and I think he'd leave off his set list today.
He wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
Uncomfortable is part of great comedy is that you're laughing at something. It's like who brought this up? It was brilliant years ago. It's like at a funeral. Something strikes you. It's that uncomfortable moment. You can't let it, but you just do, because that's what makes comedy great. And I instill this in my son about comedy and funny. And I said, you can go right up to that line. I said, but it's got to be really funny.
Yeah.
Like you got to, if the funny outweighs the offense, you're fine.
All right.
But if that's where it can kind of actually, it's actually more challenging now because people are so thin-skinned, because they haven't, because we grew up I was, I'm the sixth of 8 kids. I had to develop a thick skin, and that's good for you as you progress. Even I've got a sister who teaches, who says, kids got it. I don't know what we're preparing them for anymore, and she's very much on your side of viewing things, but she can still see what are we, people, we all got to be able to, go. It's a joke.
Right.
At the end of the day, nobody can offend me if they're doing an act.
Right.
Okay. This is a comedy act. So there's no reason to take offense to an act, whether I agree or disagree with it, find it funny or not. That's all that matters.
There you go.
And that's what Norman Lear was great at.
Okay.
So there you go.
What?
Well, I thought you might
I was just giving you the
you want to put a bow on,
because that seems to be,
No, you can.
I'm done. I've said what I've said, and I think I've said it a million times. What was funny at one time? Al Jolson was funny as shit at one time.
That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
You're
talking about blackface.
All I'm telling you was Al Jolson was hysterical at one point.
Okay, I think that's
all I'm telling you is that what was funny at one point wears out over time.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go.
Moving on. Time Magazine's Person of the Year, Taylor Swift. Another award for the singer. Swift has broken box office records as her Eras tours has played to sold out shows across the world. Reportedly now worth over $1 billion. Of course, Time Magazine's Person of the Year. A lot of past winners included the Ayatollah Khomeini, Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler. A couple of years ago, a girl won it for literally crying about the weather. So I don't know how great an award this necessarily is. But again, Taylor Swift is utterly brilliant. Utterly. A PR genius. Absolutely. I've said this before, connects with her audience. I enjoy not getting her. I enjoy that. Respect it 100%. My question to you is, has she replaced Oprah as like the female icon that everybody kind of looks to and gravitates to and kind of hangs on? And Oprah's did it over time. She became like the biggest female star, and has Taylor Swift kind of usurped
No,
that?
I don't think that. No. I think they were on different planes. Oprah was talk and books
Hmm.
and a little
Right.
intrigue and all this kind of stuff. Taylor Swift just seems to be this brand that is unstoppable. She's her
Hmm.
she's her own economic force. I mean,
100%.
she's probably got a bigger economy than some states. Um, no,
Yeah,
I'm
no
not.
kidding.
I'm that's no
No,
joke.
that's not
Um,
a joke at all. That's
and
what's
the
funny.
I think the thing that deserves her the award is the example she sets. I mean, at the end of the tour, if you give a guy that drove your truck
Hmm.
to get your stage from town to town $100,000, that changes his
Hmm.
life. That
Yes, it does.
that that
And
to me,
and it
that's a model
and it's a
human.
drop in the bucket to her.
It
So
is.
there
It
you
is a
go.
drop in the
It's a
bucket to
drop
her.
in the bucket. But I give her credit for doing it. Again,
Yeah.
I always and I think you're the same way with different people. You wonder is it done because she's a small town girl, I think, at heart. That is how she grew up.
Yep.
So I think that's still in her because I we always have this, and I'm guilty of this. I'm 100% guilty of going, you doing this?
Of course you.
Does it come from here or does it come from I want people to see me doing this? I want people to know that I did this because there are a lot of people who've done a lot of good works and they go to great lengths to keep it under the radar because they don't because that's what charity is supposed like
I
nobody's supposed to
hey,
know.
I can barely tell anybody that I give charity stuff. I
Mm,
It was beaten out of me by the time I was 8. So
yeah.
to brag about anything I do charitable.
Hmm.
So
But good for her.
good
Again,
for her. Yeah.
what did when people say that like oh that's not like it like I just said oh it's a drop in the bucket to her okay like okay yeah how much did you give
Yeah.
how much did I give
Right.
I do that when people like shit on Elon Musk it's like oh really how many what have you invented what have you contributed to society
Right.
what have you done it's one of those things it's like it's really easy for somebody like me to come here and kind of do this like this the comparison I obviously made a ridiculous
Right.
comparison going down all those lists of horrific genocidal maniacs and dictators and murderers and Taylor Swift wins the same award obviously that was tongue-in-cheek but good for her she deserved it
There you have it.
you cannot deny again I enjoy not getting it I do I enjoy it it's all good finally just a little more than 2 weeks out we could be looking at a green or perhaps greenish brown Christmas. Typically have a white Christmas around half the time in the state of Michigan. Forecasters are not projecting a major cold surge the rest of the month, which lessens the chances of snowfall come December
Good.
25th. Where do you stand on? See, I'm like you. I'm like I don't. As a kid, there were times where I like really wanted it to snow and was really disappointed if it didn't snow on Christmas. I could give two shits now.
Yeah. Okay. Ugh.
Sports. Pistons lose again. Memphis 116, Detroit 102. 2-19. They were 0 for the entire month of November. A donut so far in December. Red Wings were off, but good Lord. What a season. That's sports.
All right, it is time for international business. Kind of a hobby
Oh,
to you.
yay.
You know,
Good
I know you're
God.
up working late nights and
Uh-huh.
second Pretty Woman. You know, I'm training in Japan right now. When you're staying in one of your hotels on the weekends, when you have to get out
Yeah.
of the house, those weekends when you have to get out of the house, is that for you or your mom?
Look, I do that occasionally. It doesn't happen very often. I don't go
Right.
out that much. Sometimes, these little staycations are just they're good for your mind. They're good just to get
But is
away.
it
Good
like
and good to make
is it
yourself
you
go out.
wanting a staycation,
No, it's
or is it
always
your mom
me.
saying, "Hey, I got a friend coming over, Peter"?
Always me. No. Oh, okay. How dare you?
Well, she might be having a roast and want to have a
No.
friend over. You know,
No,
I
no,
didn't
no,
say
no. She
anything
got enough
nasty.
friends.
I'm just it's your mom. I
Oh,
love
she
her.
got enough friends. That's
She
how
might
dare
want to
you?
have, you know.
See, I didn't mean to reference another past Time Magazine Person of the Year, but how dare you?
Okay.
All right.
In 2019, this letter perfect Dutch airline celebrated its
Okay.
centenary. I've never heard the word
Gotta
centenary
pre-read
before.
this shit.
Have you ever heard the word centenary?
Centenary? No, it sounds made up.
No, it's
It sounds like they're trying to say
Centenary.
century. Say okay. Spell it again.
Centenary. Centenary.
Centenary. I have
Centenary.
no idea what the hell that is.
In 2019, the Sletter Perfect Dutch Airlines celebrated its centenary. And if you think
right
you can
here.
get this one, I did it.
You got it. You knew what it was.
I got it.
You did not. You're so full
I did.
of shit.
I really did. I came up with it. This could put you at 40,000. No, wait a minute. 43,600 in the hole.
I literally have no idea. I know Northwest. I know American. I know Delta. Delta's not yet.
No, it's KLM.
KLM. You knew KLM Airlines. Really?
It just popped into my head at the last second. It totally did.
You know what? You know what? I think you're telling the truth.
I am telling the truth.
Congratulations. You knew something I didn't.
Well,
I bow to you.
Generally the
your
case.
Airline knowledge.
Because I'm the one with depth. You're the one with looks, and that's how the show balances
that's right.
out.
You're the one with you'd like to pretend you're deep. All right, I understand.
All right, good, perfect. All right, see you tomorrow. It'll be a Friday.
See ya.
Happy Thursday, Muskegon. A warm-up is on the way with temperatures in the 50s by Friday, so let's take a look at your forecast brought to you by Trinity Health. A quick look at your weather headlines. We will warm up into the 50s, like I said, by Friday. We'll be in the 50s for at least the first half of Saturday, and then cooler temperatures will move back in late Saturday, going throughout the rest of next week, with temperatures falling back down into the 30s, which is where we should be this time of year. And it looks like the storm system for this weekend, which will bring the cooler temperatures, is a lot weaker now, and we're not expecting snow out of it. And we definitely won't be talking about snow today either, with temperatures warming into the mid-40s. And mostly sunny skies are actually possible during the afternoon hours as well. So today will be a pretty nice early December day, with temperatures only cooling down to 38 degrees overnight, with mostly cloudy skies moving back in. But this is what Saturday is looking like now. Like I said, the storm system is looking a lot weaker, as two storm systems aren't really going to phase together over the Great Lakes anymore, which results in a lot weaker of a system for us, and also just rain instead of snow. So a warm front will be placed right across West Michigan, making us into the 50s. And then once that cold front comes through during the late morning hours on Saturday, we'll likely cool down following that with some rain showers. And that's reflected in the 7-day forecast as well. You can see we'll warm up to around 52 early Saturday, cool down once that cold front comes through, but it will bring us some rain Friday night into Saturday morning. And then by Sunday, we could have a few snow flurries thanks to some cooler air moving in. But it doesn't look overly cold, as temperatures for the most part will be in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees for next week. And that's your Thursday forecast, brought to you by Trinity Health on the Muskegon channel. And I'm Cole Woods Weather, and have a great day today.